In the last video, we heard the 911 call made by Dr. Ryan, and we saw the body cam footage of when the paramedics arrived and pronounced her deceased. In this video, I'm going to go over the timeline and the text messages that led up to that day. There isn't a lot of public information out there about this case, so I have to rely on the court documents, which are not readily available. The jury trial in this case did not have cameras in the courtroom, and the only thing available is the audio recording of the proceedings. I've put in a public request for audio recordings of the jury trial where Dr. Ryan was found guilty. So if I get that, I will share that with you. So let's get started with the timeline. On January 26, 2022 at 6:53 a.m., the Montgomery County Police Department patrol units were dispatched to an overdose at the residence. Montgomery County Fire Rescue also responded and attempted life-saving measures with negative results. While on scene, the medical examiner pronounced Sarah Harris deceased. Sarah Harris's boyfriend, Dr. James Ryan, was on scene and was identified via his Maryland driver's license. The police responded to the scene and learned several pieces of information. Ryan stated to MCPD personnel that he went to bed at approximately 22:30 hours, and the victim, Sarah Harris, stayed downstairs and was okay when he went to bed. Ryan further stated he came downstairs the next morning, on the 26th, to find Sarah Harris unresponsive on the couch with used hypodermic needles and various vials of controlled substance. While on the scene of the fatal overdose, they observed 2 bottles of 200 milligram injectable propofol containing liquid residue, 4 bottles of 5 milliliter injectable midazolam containing liquid residue, 1 bottle of 1,000 milligram injectable ketamine containing a clear liquid approximately 1/3 full, numerous hypodermic needles, syringes, rubber tourniquets. Also located in the residence was a large 500 count bottle of 10 milligram diazepam. All the bottles seized had labels identifying the drug and DEA schedule number. Ketamine, midazolam, and diazepam are controlled dangerous substances. Their affiant collected the above-mentioned injectable bottles and submitted them into evidence. The suspected controlled dangerous substance mentioned in the above paragraph were submitted to the Montgomery County Department of Police Forensic Laboratories for testing. On March 15, 2022, forensic chemists analyzed the substances. The forensic analysis revealed a liquid in the ketamine bottle was in fact ketamine, a Schedule III controlled dangerous substance. One of the 4 midazolam vials was analyzed, and the liquid inside was found to be midazolam, a Schedule IV controlled dangerous substance. Subsequent to fatal overdose, MCPD Homicide Detective Karen received communication from Dr. Ling Lee from Maryland's Office of Chief Medical Examiners that Sarah Harris's manner of death was ruled undetermined, and the cause of death was ketamine and diazepam intoxication. After Sarah Harris' fatal overdose, her older sister Rachel was able to access Sarah Harris's social media accounts. During the month of February 2022, Rachel Harris put together a binder that contained pictures of text message conversations between Sarah Harris and Ryan in between the months of March 2021 and January 2022. The conversations are very frank and often depict Sarah Harris asking Ryan to obtain different drugs during that time period. Also, during the conversations during that time, Ryan tells Sarah Harris that he is bringing her certain drugs, instructs her on how and when to use certain drugs, and instructs her on where to find certain drugs, and tells her how he is planning on obtaining drugs. Additionally, he mentions bringing home and/or providing medical equipment to include IV bags, fluids, needles, and an IV pole to aid in the administration of drugs. The affiant will list some of the text message conversations below. It should be noted there are many more conversations between the two that are not listed. I'm going to go through the text messages. On June 12th, 2021, at 21:57 hours, Sarah sends a text to James. Can you bring more IV bags? Is my ID at home? Any updates? How long do you think it'll be? Get a tape and gauze. LOL, they were lost. Why were we even fighting? No idea. Tired and bad dreams. So strange. I'm really sorry. I know, love. Believe me, I will beat myself up over that more than you will ever know. I love you so much. I was still sleeping until I woke up and was like, why am I so upset? Didn't mean to hang up like that. Love you, drive safe. You get regular 20 gauges needles? And then on September 7th, 2021 at 13:48 hours, Sarah sends a text to Dr. James Ryan. I feel like fall is coming outside. I didn't bring a vial, though. I don't want a versed hangover. Laughing emoji with tears. Yes, I'm trying not to do so much and taper to nothing. Hard in this stupid area. And then on September 27th at 6:46 in the morning, Sarah sends a text to Ryan. Can do me a favor and put more saline in the versed vial? Thank you. Love you. Of course. Sleep well. Get some rest. And a heart emoji. This is September 27th at 9:27 a.m. She sends a text to Ryan. My anxiety is so bad today. Why, love? Everything is fine here. Take a Xanax before it gets worse. And then at 9:41, she sends a text. I really don't feel good. I feel completely drained, dehydrated. What can I do to help? What's on your mind? Should I bring home fluids? You could start by not feeding her drugs. I'm just having anxiety about life and have a kind of doomed feeling. Don't listen to that. You are not doomed. I don't know. I don't think you'll find a vein. I'm so dehydrated. Drink some water. Try not to smoke today, at least for a bit. Use the Xanax. If you want to get my RX and try one of those, it might help. Then the next day at 10:33 in the morning, she sends another text to Ryan. I just woke up. I feel like I got actual sleep. How's your day going? I feel very out of it though. I'm glad you got actual sleep. I think the ketamine works well for you. Drink lots of water and you will not feel so out of it. Need to get the K out of your system. I feel so disoriented. It's the ketamine, the combo, maybe the Neurontin. They have interactions. Is it hard to walk? No, I just feel I'm kind of floating. LOL. I think I'm just pretty sick. And then on October 18th at 14:50 hours, Ryan sends a text to Sarah. I'm leaving soon, making sure everyone is gone. I'll be leaving soon. So we still have the IV pole? I got everything. Do you need Juul? I need bales, vapes. I'll stop to get, and then on my way home. Do we shave the pole at home? Yeah, we do. And then the document goes on to say that they suspect, based on this investigation, that the IV pole and the pole are referring to an IV pole that is used to hang saline bags that are used with intravenous injections of controlled dangerous substances. It should be that on one of the two, check the welfare events done by the family in reference to Sarah's health prior to her death, they observed an IV pole in the residence that was set up for intravenous use. On November 14th at 16:15 hours, Sarah sends a text to Ryan. Can you get some propofol and ketamine too, please? Okay. Thank you, love. You're welcome. Then on November 24th, Sarah sends another text to Ryan. I'm sorry, we need syringes. I already left. What do you mean? I left the office. I'll go back. And then on December 13th at 9:43 a.m., Sarah to Ryan. Hey, love. Good morning, heart emoji. How are you? I'm good. How are you feeling? I'm feeling really tired. I bet you didn't sleep well last night. Yeah, I don't know what to do. Take Winston to the soccer field and let him run around. Take 3 diazepam and 1.5 Xanax on an empty stomach. Eat a grapefruit or drink some grapefruit juice. It makes the meds way more potent. Eat or drink before taking the meds. Smoke a bowl if it doesn't help in an hour. Don't drink too much water after the meds. It will dilute them. So I don't like to interrupt too much during these videos, but how's that for doctor's advice? This girl not only trusted him as her partner, she trusted him as a medical professional, and he's giving her medical advice to smoke a bowl, how to make the drugs more potent. He's literally feeding her these drugs, and not once does he push back and say, you know, you should probably lay off some of these drugs. No, he just keeps feeding, and he doesn't push back at all. Where's the Xanax? If you can tolerate them, leave on under your tongue. They're in my trunk. I brought them by accident with the propofol. You can come get from my trunk if you want. I left everything in my trunk. I didn't mean to take them. Come get them. The Verse is in the trunk also. I will put syringes and needles in the trunk also. Just let me know if you're coming. If not, I won't put needles in there. I don't understand what you mean. And then on December 20th at 2:26 in the afternoon, or actually that's probably in the morning, at 2:26 in the morning, James sends a text to Sarah. If you wake up, I just went and changed after I got you ketamine just now. And then on the next day, 07:25 hours, James sends a text. We went to the hockey game last night and then went home. You slept all night, and every time you woke up, you were sobbing. I couldn't understand what you were saying because of the ketamine. I just hugged you. In another section of the binder of information provided by Rachel Harris to the police department was a conversation on Instagram between Sarah and Stu. Rachel indicated in the binder that Stu is Sarah's best friend and ex-boyfriend. December 15th, Sarah sends a text to Stu. Hey dude, do you have any coke I can cope? I don't, no. Do you know anyone who does? How much are you looking for? Like an 8-ball or however much is available? Okay, I'll see what's up. Thanks. How long do you think it will take? As of now, I don't know. Does Alex have any? Thanks for trying, dude. Not currently, no. I should be able to get something, I'm sure, LOL. Thanks, dude. I really appreciate it. How are you doing? No problem. I'm decent. How about yourself? Not doing so well, dude. I OD'd the other night from ketamine. I've been in a bad place. And you want coke? I'm withdrawing. I need an upper. Please don't judge me. An 8-ball for yourself, though? That's a lot. No, not just for me. Multiple people. Yeah, I needed CPR for 5 minutes. It was very scary. I'm sorry to hear that. I can imagine. I'm happy you're still alive. Sad face emoji. Please keep it that way. I'm supposed to go first. Don't forget. Me too, dude. I've been in a really bad place. Never mind on the coke. Someone else found some. Kissing face emoji. LOL. Okay. Have fun with that. Be as safe as you can, I suppose. I've learned a serious lesson. I don't want to die. Yeah, it's not fun. I just want peace again. And then approximately 5 days later, the following text message conversation occurred between Sarah and Ryan. I'm leaving the office. I'm awake. Okay, 5 cc's. You can push it. Walking up to the office. Leaving the office. Did you wake up again? A. Home. If you wake up, I just went to change after I give you ketamine just now. It should be noted that in several other conversations after Sarah Harris tells Stu that she overdosed, there are text message exchange that show Ryan continued to provide Harris with ketamine, propofol, diazepam, and Xanax. Just a few short days later, Sarah overdosed on the drugs that was being fed to her by Dr. Ryan. And then on March 12th, 2022, Detective Hack interviewed Rachel Harris regarding Sarah's overdose death and learned the following. Sarah Harris began as a patient of Ryan's in September-October 2020 when she had her wisdom teeth removed. Sarah Harris went back to Ryan a couple of weeks later for a possible infection. A period of time after that, Sarah Harris received a text from a number she did not have saved. The text was from Ryan indicating he was going to have a position for surgical technician available in his office. Sarah was hired for the position shortly after that. Sarah Harris and Ryan started dating approximately January 2021, which is just 1 year before she overdosed. Sarah Harris began spending time at Ryan's apartment. In the summer months, Sarah's family had several family functions in very hot weather where they noticed and remarked to her that she was wearing long sleeves in the heat of the summer. She noticed that IV drug users often try to conceal their IV drug use by hiding track or needle marks. Rachel, which is Sarah's sister, was hired as the practice manager for Ryan's practice at the end of June 2021. The Harris family began to see physical changes in Sarah during the summer of 2021 months. Rachel reports that Sarah did not look well. On October 28th of 2021, when Rachel refers to as Incident 1, both she and Tina Harris, Tina is her mother, responded to the residence to check Sarah's welfare. When they entered the home, Sarah appeared to be in an altered state. Rachel searched the home and found a large number of empty controlled dangerous substance bottles consistent with what she found on the scene of the overdose: used syringes, saline bags, bloody clothing, and other medical equipment. Tina Harris, the mother, forced Sarah to roll up her sleeves and discovered both of Sarah's arms were covered with needle marks and bruises that were in various stages of healing. On December 3rd of 2021, Rachel Harris again checked Sarah's welfare. Upon entering the residence, Rachel observed bloody paper towels, multiple syringes, bottles of ketamine, propofol, midazolam, some of which still had needles inserted into them, and used IV bags, blood on the wall, and an IV stand. Because Rachel was the practice manager at Ryan's medical practice, she recognized the bottles in the residence that Sarah was using as consistent with what Ryan stocked and used at his practice. Employees at the practice complained to Rachel that they suspected Dr. Ryan was abusing substances at work. The employees relayed one event where they located Ryan asleep in the office, but they were unable to wake him. Eventually, they used ammonia-smelling salts to wake him. It should be noted that the above-mentioned injectable bottles of ketamine, propofol, and midazolam that were seized by the police at the scene of her death are not bottles that are dispensed from a pharmacy. Rather, they are bottles that are used in a medical setting. Based upon that fact and the conversations listed above, Ryan was taking the controlled substance mentioned above from his practice and distributing them to Sarah Harris during the time period listed above. It is clear, based upon the above listed text conversation, along with other conversations available to law enforcement, that after moving in with Ryan, Sarah Harris developed and sank into serious addiction involving multiple controlled dangerous substances provided by Ryan over the course of many months. Additionally, Ryan also provided medical equipment to assist Sarah in using the above-mentioned controlled substances. The above-listed text message clearly shows that Dr. Ryan both possessed with an intent to distribute and did in fact distribute to Sarah ketamine, midazolam, and diazepam, which are scheduled 3, 4, and I don't know why it says and, because it looks like the same digit anyway, respectively. Additionally, it should be stated that Dr. James Ryan is a medical professional and either knew or should have known how dangerous it was to provide Sarah Harris with what is tantamount to an open supply of the above-mentioned controlled dangerous substances. Additionally, the text messages show that Ryan sometimes instructed Sarah on what quantity of the drugs to use. In one text message thread on 12/20/21 that started at 2:26 a.m. in the morning, that was quite early, Ryan tells Sarah in a text message, okay, 5 cc's, you can push it. Now, we know that 5 cc is a dosage amount that is used with syringes and sometimes statement push it refers to introducing drugs via a syringe into the human body, either directly or with an IV bag. It is clear, based upon the text message and interview with Rachel Harris and Sarah Harris, that Sarah Harris developed an ever-worsening addiction that was continuously fed over months by Ryan. Despite her obvious addiction and deteriorating health, Ryan continued to provide Sarah with ketamine, midazolam, and diazepam propofol, two of which were listed as the cause of her death. Furthermore, as a medical doctor, Ryan was aware of the risk of providing these dangerous drugs to Sarah, especially given her condition, and that the likelihood of death from an abuse of these drugs was extremely high. Nevertheless, he continued to supply her with these drugs, demonstrating an extreme indifference to life of Sarah Harris. Therefore, your affiant also believes probable cause exists to charge Dr. James Ryan with manslaughter and second-degree depraved heart murder. Based upon the above listed facts, your affiant believes probable cause exists to charge Dr. James Ryan with the following offenses: intent to distribute midazolam, intent to distribute ketamine, intent to distribute diazepam, distribution of midazolam, distribution of ketamine, distribution of diazepam, administering midazolam, administering ketamine, and reckless endangerment, manslaughter, and murder in the second degree. Based upon the above listed information, your affiant believes Ryan may be in danger to his patients and/or community. Your affiant requests a warrant be issued for Ryan's arrest based upon the severity of the charges.
Thompson Creek Window Company designs, builds, and installs replacement windows without supply chain delays that other window dealers are seeing. This is Lisa Baden, and you get high-quality windows at an affordable price direct from their local factory. Windows will be professionally installed faster than other window companies, and you won't pay the middleman markup. Plus, it's their biggest sale of the year with 25% off all windows and doors, plus no interest until October 2023. See ThompsonCreek.com for details. Go with the company you can trust. Thompson Creek Window Company has been in business for over 40 years with an A+ BBB rating. Right now is the best time to replace your windows and doors. The biggest sale of the year doesn't happen often, so you definitely want to take advantage of the huge savings. Call 855-57-CREEK. That's 855-57-CREEK before the biggest sale of the year is gone.
Now WNL traffic and weather every 10 minutes, first down at 5.
I just gotta find out. Hey Brian, does all your stuff work?
I don't know if
I've never used my camera department. Does your stuff work?
Yeah.
You want to transport? I'm probably gonna want it on.
That's fine.
Yes.
Let me double check that it works.
Is this the old camera?
Yeah, I got the old one too.
I don't know how to work it.
It's a good thing.
Oh, this should be all we have to
You
work
want
with.
us to swap out cups so you guys have your cups? Sure. Well, as soon as Brian figures out the stuff is working.
He's been fine. That's what I would say. He might feel 2,600. That's what I'm figuring. So, yeah, I wouldn't take my eyes off him very long until he turned over on the side. Then, if you want to.
I can heal. I'm trying to think of it. They're gonna want to. I wonder if you got Jarvis number. You want to see if you want two of us to go down there with this fellow because of that.
Oh yeah, one of us should follow.
One step.
Yeah, I'd just say have just one follow and then just hang out.
And I'm assuming we're just going to the back side of 1D,
On the backside,
taking
yeah.
them in the basement.
Go in the garage.
I know our car, I don't think my car, last time I had to go down there, my car didn't work. So yeah, I think we have to wait for somebody from 1D to.
You want me to go down with him, or you want to go? I don't care.
No, man, I can go. It's up to you. Unless you want to go.
I mean, one of us needs to stay here.
Actually, yeah, I guess so. Because of the search made changes in the law. But it's upstairs. And there's just a couple of employees up there. That's it.
Yeah, do you want to stay or you want to follow? It's up to you. Whatever you
I
want
don't
to do.
care. Are you? What do you got? You guys banned or what?
If they don't need us to search, there's supposed to be a bunch of guys coming down here to help out.
There were like 80 people up there.
Yeah. DEA's going to be they're waiting. Baxter's here. Sorry. We're all here. Charlie's on his way. I don't know who else. Hey, good morning.
Did you follow them from the house or did you have been sitting here all night?
Sort of. Little both.
Good.
He shouldn't have any property on him. We took everything off. Double check.
You want to swap out cups? I think Kurt's gonna follow you down.
Yeah, I'll go down there.
I think it's half off this.
Yeah, sure. If we go to the elevator, we go right out.
Sure, yeah.
Thank you. Sorry to get
Same thing. No, it's okay. Yeah. There's a lot of stuff over there. Put your hand behind your back again.
Double R's a little tighter.
Thanks.
Go ahead and just face the wall. I'm just going to patch it out again real quick. I know they checked you already. Just make sure that it is. They already get everything out of your pockets? They already get everything out of your pockets? Did you take everything out of your pockets, wallet, all that stuff?
Yeah, we did over there. Okay. Well, I mean, we can't, it's never know.
Short size.
He's gonna grab his car and bring it right here real quick.
Yeah, we'll stand there for a second.
We can bring him out and walk away.
I'll wait until this car's passed. He's coming. We're gonna get in this car here. You're gonna go on the passenger side, be in the front seat. Just watch your head getting in. There we go. And we'll put the seatbelt on you once you get squeezed in there. It's gonna be a little uncomfortable, unfortunately, for a few minutes. Can you get that? Yeah, I got you.
And why is he in the front seat of the cruiser?
I'll be behind you. Maybe. Come on.
They have their own ideas. Somewhat hypothetical because, as we know, that has not yet been completed.
Council President Gabe Alberto.
I think it's appropriate for the community to consider what it would do in the event that those resources, additional resources, did become available.
The council also considering other transit projects such as connecting Deers Mill Road and 355 with bus rapid transit. County executives push to add express bus service on 270. WMAL and WMAL.com.
Finally. It's the big hour of the Green and Andy Morning Show. WMAL next time, 9:08 is Andy Clark. That's right, we're locked. A WMAL radio legend has died. Andy Parks, who spent a quarter century on AM 630. First is the Dean of Tennessee Airborne Traffic, then is co-host of this program, first with Tim Brandt, later with Fred Grandy, has died. The aforementioned Bronson Newberg, a.k.a. Brian Neiman, spent years as Grandy and Andy's news anchor.
Being on that team was the highlight of my professional career. I've never had more fun in radio. We had an absolute blast every single day. You get up at 2 o'clock in the morning, you know, it wasn't a drag because you know you're going to go to the studio and you're going to see Andy, you see Fred, the first thing you do is laugh.
Andy spent the last decade at the Washington Times hosting radio programs and podcasts until shortly before his death. Andy Parks was 68. Fred
But yeah, you're right. I mean, there is a problem in this country.
Come on.
The person who gets the 28% APR car loan is the same person who will absolutely insist that critical race theory needs to be taught in schools.
And the demand of the
You forget. It's 820.
Making sense of your world.
Okay, well, that doesn't work. Let me park. Alright, I don't know if this is working or not, but I'll park in here. That's a non-working number. The number I have for him. And of course, these guys want to hold our air restricted for freaking 2 hours. Like, ridiculous. They should be on a different channel when they do this shit. Can't hold an entire district radio silence because you want to do it so. I have the office, but I don't have the number I had for him is his cell. It's not working.
Like sitting here with them in the car. Put them in the process. I don't know where they want.
Well, I know one of these didn't work. Like, one of these didn't work when I tried to come in. Like, yeah, I mean, I didn't know if it was my card reader or whatever, but I had to have somebody come down. Yeah. I'm gonna call the office and see if anybody answers up there, because. Hey, this is Officer LaFisca. We're down here in processing at the. I'm sorry. The what the hell do you call these things? The Sally Court with the suspect from the 5D search warrant. We just need somebody to tell us where to put him. There were probably every unit that belongs in this part of this department was on scene of this search warrant. There were like 80 people out there. SWAT's doing a different part of it right now up in Mary 3. So, Karen, Detective Karen. Yeah, he was supposed to meet us here, but he's not here yet, so I don't know. And the number I had for him's not working. Yeah. And our cards won't work. We're from 5D, so our cards won't work on the card reader to let us in the building. This is my personal. Yep. Cool, thank you. I had no idea who that was. I love when people answer the phone.
Pick up this guy from observation. And try to put him here immediately. Why didn't you come down here for the hour and a half that we were up there waiting?
I would assume somebody would already been here waiting to talk to him. But, you know, like I said, we had how many people up there at the scene, and they still wanted extra patrol officers just to be like, it's just a waste.
Absolute waste. Yeah, the air is still restricted. Why?
They should have already hit the door by now.
Oh, yeah.
I know they were talking, you know, because they were worried about the boot trucks or whatever, but again, why are we not on
They
attack channel?
said they were going to switch over to chat.
Luke? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, we just we said we just couldn't get in the door, so we didn't know what you wanted us to do with them. So appreciate it, sir. Bye-bye. That was their sergeant, Corsiani. Karen supposedly on his way here. He said he should be in the building. He's coming to us.
Okay.
Allegedly.
I'm going to switch it up.
Yeah, that's fine. Awesome. You want? I'm gonna put this down. I guess I don't want to hit the red because it'll probably.
Yes. We need to answer 12?
Yes.
Okay, no, I got it. He's away from me. Awesome, thank you.
All right, now, there you go. Now, fix it up. Yeah, I got the key card on purpose. So they're kind of.
Yeah, well, they won't let us buzz in any of these doors. So.
Got to wait for that to shut down. So they should work.
We don't have that problem with us.
Just wait a second. Just close it.
Did you get a new sound?
No.
Those aren't a good number. Is that still your number?
Yeah,
It's because you were in here.
maybe. It really said not a good number?
It said this number does no longer exist.
They just called.
Oh, my bad. That's why. I was like, it's the number I had for you. I tried calling it and I put in the wrong number.
Do you have anything on me? No. Okay. Your wallet's not with you? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that guy took it off on the.
Sure. You want something to drink?
I would love some.
tight, right?
No.
What is that? No, I don't even think they have your vape. I don't have anything.
Yeah, we don't have anything that was your property. Whoever initially stopped you has the stuff with them.
I get that. Okay.
And video.
On April 5th, Dr. James Ryan surrendered his license to practice as a dentist. Here is that letter. I agree to voluntarily surrender my license to practice as a dentist in the state of Maryland. License number 15133. I understand that I may not practice as a dentist with or without compensation, as it is defined in the Maryland Dentistry Act. In other words, as of the effective date of this letter of surrender, I understand that I am in the same position as an individual who is not licensed to practice as a dentist. I understand that this letter of surrender shall become a public document and shall become effective on the date of the board's acceptance of this letter of surrender. I agree that this letter may be released or published by the board as a final decision in order, as well as the Public Information Act. The decision to surrender my license stems from the fact that on or about March 21st, 2022, I was criminally charged with, among other charges, murder in the second degree and multiple counts of CDS possession with the intent to distribute. Specifically, it is alleged that over the course of several months, I diverted controlled dangerous substances, including ketamine, midazolam, propofol, and diazepam, from my practice and distributed them to my girlfriend, who developed a serious addiction to those substances. It is further alleged that the distribution of some of these drugs to her was the approximate cause of her death on January 26, 2022. I understand that if I am convicted of, or if I plead guilty or nolo contender of any or all of the above referenced crimes, the board could charge my license with a violation. I also understand, after the board completes an independent investigation of the underlying facts, it is likely that the board could additionally charge me with several other violations of the Act, including but not limited to HO 4315A16, which behaves dishonorably or unprofessionally or violates a professional code of ethics pertaining to the dentistry profession. I understand if this matter were charged by the board and proceeded to an evidentiary hearing before the board, there likely is sufficient evidence to find and conclude as a matter of law that I violated 4315A4 and 16. I understand that the board could sanction my license as authorized by 4315, including the revocation of my license. Thus, it is my desire to surrender my license to practice as a dentistry at this time. In executing this agreement to surrender my license to practice as a dentist to the board, I agree that I will not apply for reinstatement for a period of 2 years following the date of the board's acceptance of this letter of surrender. I also agree that if after a period of 2 years I decide to apply for reinstatement as a dentist in Maryland, I will approach the board in the same posture as an unregistered individual whose license has been revoked. In consideration my application for reinstatement, the board may review my entire board file, including any information the board receives after execution of this letter. I understand that it will be my burden as an applicant for reinstatement to demonstrate that I meet all of the board's requirements for reinstatement of my license at the time I submit a reinstatement application. I understand that if the board reinstates my license, it will be reinstated through the board's disciplinary process, and that my license will only be reinstated by the board's issuance of a public order of reinstatement, and that the board may, in its discretion, place my reinstated license on probation subject to terms and conditions. I wish to make it clear that I have voluntarily, knowingly, and freely chosen to submit this letter of surrender. I understand that by executing this letter of surrender, I am waiving the right now and in the future to any evidentiary hearing at which I would have the right to counsel, to confront witnesses, to give testimony, to call witnesses on my own behalf, to contest the facts summarized in the second paragraph of this letter of surrender, and at which I would have the right to all other substantive and procedural protections provided by law, including the right to appeal. I acknowledge that I may not rescind this letter of surrender in part or in its entirety for any reason whatsoever. I understand the nature and the effect of both the board's actions and this letter of surrender fully. Finally, I wish to make clear that I have had an opportunity to discuss this matter with legal counsel, and I willingly, knowingly, and voluntarily sign this letter of surrender. Sincerely, James Ryan, April 5th, 2022. I have requested the audio for the jury trial because they didn't allow cameras in the courtroom. This is the invoice that I received. I am a part-time YouTuber and I work a full-time job. I do not make that much from ad revenue, so if you'd like to hear the full trial and want to help support the channel, there are a few ways you can help. You can join the channel for a small monthly fee, you can send a one-time gift, or you can purchase super chats. Also, let me know in the comments if you are interested in the hearing of the trial. If I don't get much interest, it doesn't seem very cost effective for me to purchase the audio, which as you can see, it's pretty costly. In this video, we saw the truth laid bare through the digital footprint Sarah left behind. Her messages paint the picture of a woman deeply dependent on drugs, reaching out to anyone who could help her get them, and ultimately relying on the one person who should have protected her, her own doctor boyfriend, Dr. Ryan. We watched investigators take Ryan into custody and we reviewed the documents showing his surrender of his medical license, documents that tell their own story about accountability and the steps taken after Sarah's death. These text messages were painful to read, but they matter. They reveal a pattern. They show just how much access Dr. Ryan had, how much control he exercised, and how much responsibility he carried. Thank you for watching, and thank you viewers for leaving the comments that you do. I read them all. I try to respond to them all.
I just want to say thank you. Nothing more, no play. I appreciate